Welcome to 5 Minute Friday, and we are going to be talking about Dreamtime. Yes, this is a metaphysical secret weapon that I teach in my mastermind. I teach people how to use their dreams, their nightly dream time, to grow their business, to accelerate the rate at which opportunities come to them, and money and business partners and all these things. And you can use it as well. You can use it in your business. You can use it in your personal life. And this is something that I've been learning, that I've taught myself over the last 5 years. And I really had never kept track of my dreams. You know, sometimes I would have dreams. A lot of times I wouldn't remember dreams until I was about to become a dad. And while my wife was pregnant with our first son, an oracle got in touch with me. She said, I discovered, I had a vision that I was supposed to hire you as my business coach. So first of all, and that was super cool. And we worked together. And she also gave me an oracle session. She said, because you're going to have less time for adventure, physically traveling, physically going out into the wilderness and these things, because you'll have a kid. I was like, yeah, I can believe that. You're going to need to learn to adventure in your dreams. And so having a dream practice and learning to lucid dream is going to be really important for you. So I didn't even know what lucid dreaming was at the time. So I read a couple books and I started doing practices, and I started keeping a dream journal and recording my dreams. And over the last 5 years, I've discovered just how powerful Dreamtime can be. It's not just giving you information. It's not just the fact that it can take you on an amazing adventure, which is what you can do in lucid dreaming. It's also, it answers pressing questions you have if you have a big decision. If you want to create something in the world, if you want to manifest something into your reality, Dreamtime can be the starting place for that. So it's just really phenomenal what a superpower this can be once you learn how to use it. And there's some really interesting stories that have come from using Dreamtime. One example that I'm thinking of right now is actually dreamed of two friends and I. We were having this adventure wedding, and we were jumping out of a helicopter and snowboarding down this mountain, and then they were getting married. It was like a Instagram stunt wedding. And I told them about it. I was like, hey, I had this dream where we were all doing this stunt wedding and you two were getting married, and I was sort of organizing or photographing. And they were like, well, that sounds really cool. I hope we get to meet sometime. And they did meet, and they went on a date, and they really dug each other. Actually, I hope they're listening to this because you know who you are. So sometimes dreams, bring people together. Sometimes you can, right now, I'm in the process of hiring a new member for our team. And so I'm starting my search both online, but also in Dreamtime. So I would do something like ask my subconscious, where will I find the right person? Or who is it? Do I already know the right person? Or where should I be looking to find the right hire for my team at this time? And a lot of times when you ask these questions, you will get a very specific, clear response. You will get a name or a face or a location, a place where it'll guide you towards the question that you're asking. And so what this is doing, there's basically we're addressing our subconscious mind. And right now in pandemic and COVID times, this is actually a really good time to start a Dreamtime practice if you haven't already done that. Because we as a human species on Earth are experiencing more of the same thing. Everybody's experiencing this pandemic. And so it's actually sort of unifying what Carl Jung would call the collective unconscious. And what I've noticed and what other people who I talk to about dreams have told me is that this is a very powerful, very special time for Dreamtime because we're all more connected through this shared experience. So it'll actually be easier for you to start using Dreamtime right now than it maybe would be before the pandemic. So let's see. Another example is when we were house shopping last year. We were living in Portugal, and Heidi said, "I don't want to move to Romania. I'd like to settle down. I'd like to slow down a little bit because we had been to 15 countries in the last 4 years, and she was ready to have her own garden and actually felt the same way. So I went along with that. And so we were shopping for houses. We wanted to find the right neighborhood, of course, the right price range and all these things. And we walked into this house that I'm actually recording this in now. And she was like, oh, this is it. And I didn't get that same feeling. I trusted and I was willing to get the house just because she knew it was her house. But I also kind of wanted to feel like, yes, I'm convinced this is the right house. So what I did that night was ask before I went to bed, and as I fall asleep, in the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes of where I'm drifting off, I will frame the question in my mind. So I said, can you confirm that this is the right house for us? And actually, I got just this booming voice that was like, yes, this is your house. And I was like, oh my God. And it woke me up. It freaked me out. So sometimes you'll get a very clear, direct answer. And sometimes it'll come less clear. There'll be some weird symbolism that you have to interpret. And one of the key things here is not just the content, not just who you're seeing or what the symbols are or where you are, but also the context, like how does it make you feel? And are there any, does it ever remind you of anything? Or are there any repeating patterns that you can identify from your waking life or from your dream life? So this ability to address our subconscious and ask it to do something for us is really phenomenal. I won't get into all the science that tells you why this works, but basically you can ask it to do anything that you want. You could, you could ask it, tomorrow, I just want to have a really good money-making idea pop into my head, and you can seed that into your subconscious mind. There's so many things that you can do. And I think you can get creative with how you use this. And I want to circle back real quick to lucid dreaming, because lucid dreaming, if you're not familiar with that, and I've done an episode with one of the foremost lucid dreaming experts, Robert Waggoner. Go listen to that episode if you haven't already, because lucid dreaming is fantastic. When you become aware while you're dreaming, you can create things. You can make things happen. You can make people show up. You can fly. You have all the superpowers that you ever wanted, and you can, you're not bound by the ego. You're not bound by the normal physics that we experience in waking life. So there's so many things you can do. You can walk through walls. You can breathe underwater. All these things. But this is actually really great practice for how quickly you can make things happen in the 3D world, in the waking world. If you get into lucid dreaming and you can become aware you're dreaming and get good at manifesting really quickly and using your intention to bring about the reality of your dream world, you can apply the same thing. You can get better and rehearse using your will and your intention to make things come into existence in your waking life. So whether it's a business or a romantic relationship or a house or whatever it is you want to have in your waking life, you can use the power of your subconscious mind to help you get there. So a couple keys. This will get you started on your journey. One, setting the intention, a very clear, precise what you're asking for as you fall asleep. So there's that, sort of last 5 to 10 minutes as you start to drift off when you're sort of transitioning from beta waves to theta waves to delta waves, which is the deep sleep. In the theta wave state, it's kind of the meditative state. That's a really good time to seed your subconscious mind. So you can even write out the intent, the question that you're asking, or the task that you're giving to your subconscious mind in your dream journal. Write it out and then hold that in your mind as you're falling asleep. And then the second part is you want to be able to access this information. You want to be able to use it. So you can also, part of your intention can be, I will remember this when I wake up. And another key thing is to just have a journal next to your bed so that you can write it down immediately, because it will begin to drift away as soon as you wake up. If your attention goes somewhere else, like for me, there's often a kid crying for me to come give them something early in the morning. So I just quickly jot down some of the main points of the dream as quick as I can before it slips away. So that's what I recommend: setting the intention clearly and keeping a dream journal, and treat it as a fun experiment. See what you can make happen. See what answers you can get, and guaranteed you're going to be blown away with how powerful this is. All right, that's all for today's episode. Now it's your turn to go out there and be a dreamer, be an adventurer.